Hi everyone, my name is Pamela Noury. I'm Head of Expedition Operations at Noble Caledonia, and today we're going to chat about packing for the poles. So I'm going to share my screen with you for a second and share some images that will help you get ready for your next polar expedition. When we say polar regions, we mean the Antarctic Peninsula, including Falklands and South Georgia. We mean Alaska, the Russian Far East, and of course Svalbard. The most essential layer is your outer shell layer, and this consists of a jacket, waterproof pants, and your boots. These items are windproof and waterproof. But before you go invest in all of this gear, you'll be happy to know that the jacket and boots are usually included in the charter. So double check in your booking conditions or ask Noble Caledonia to be sure. And we normally do supply you with a jacket that has a hood, covers your neck, nice warm pockets, waterproof, windproof, and these lovely big warm waterproof boots for stepping in the water, and they're also appropriate for going on walks. If those are provided, then all you need to get is the waterproof pants. You want to get pants that are going to be able to fit over the boots, so a bootleg design. You also want them to be big enough that you can fit a layer or two underneath them and still comfortably get in and out of the Zodiacs and go on walks to get a slightly bigger pair. And you ideally want to avoid Velcro. Velcro can easily pick up seeds, and we don't want to transfer seeds from landing to landing or island to island because that is a biological hazard. The layer that sits closest to your skin is the base or inner layer of thermal underwear. The best material for this is merino wool, but there are loads of other synthetic fabrics available on the market. And a top tip here is to get something that also covers your neck, so it doubles as a scarf, and also zips down the front. So on those warmer days, you can always unzip it to cool off a little bit. When you get socks, you want to get a couple of thicker and medium and thinner pairs of socks so that you can create the ideal fit with the boots that we provide you on board. You also want to have at least 2 pairs for each day, for the morning and a different one for the afternoon, because the boots are waterproof and they're not breathable at all. So changing your socks is really important during the day. Your mid layer, this is where all the warmth really comes from. And this is up to you, how many items you want to wear, depending how you feel the cold. You can wear wool, you can wear fleece, you can wear any of the normal jerseys that you would have lying around your house. And a top tip, again, is to have that zip down the front so that you can open it up and cool down when you are overheating. The best for this layer is your down jacket. This also doubles as a little pillow on the airplane, folds up into nothing, and yet gives you so much warmth for being really lightweight. In terms of pants, not everyone wears the thermal underwear pants, but most people will pair this middle layer with your waterproof pants. And when you come back on board, you can take the waterproof pants off and walk around the ship in these pants. So it's nice to have a pair that's suitable for walking around on the ship. It's still warm in case you want to pop out on deck and look at some wildlife on the outer decks, and it's comfortable to walk around with ashore. Your footwear, when you're not doing wet landings ashore, this is the kind of thing that you might like to wear on board. You'll also be able to wear these on port days. And again, you'll want to be able to pop out on the outer decks with this footwear that's suitable for taking ashore and wearing on board. So something comfortable, something warm, and something with decent tread. Headgear is very personal. We all feel the cold quite differently, but you're trying to achieve sun protection as well as warmth for your ears and head. So if you're someone who doesn't really feel the cold, a peak cap might just be fine for you. Otherwise, if you just really feel the cold on your ears, a headband might be the way to go. And of course, the all-in-one is going to be your beanie with a peak in it. For gloves, again, you get some really fancy, thick gloves, but they're not always practical to be able to work your camera, for example, or hold onto the Zodiacs. So because the jackets often have fleece-lined pockets, a lot of people are happy with a lighter or thinner pair of gloves, and they just pop their hands in their pockets when they need their hands to warm up. If you are buying one of those thin merino type pairs of gloves, try to make sure that it's touch screen friendly. You don't want to have to take your gloves off every time you want to use your phone as a camera, and you get ones today that have a little piece on the finger that is able to work with your touchscreen. What a lot of the staff wear are these kind of inexpensive hardware type gloves. They're probably about 5 or 10 pounds. You can get them at many hardware stores in cold regions, including Scotland, and they are really warm, inexpensive. They've got waterproof on the area where they need to be. They're rubber lined, and they're just great working gloves. In terms of scarves, we probably suggest a neck gaiter is more appropriate because it's nothing flapping or nothing to fall off. Remember, you might not need this at all if you have a thermal layer that comes up and covers your neck, and your outer jacket's going to cover your neck as well. But the nice thing about a neck gaiter is that you can bring it up over your face. It doubles as a face mask. It can also come right up and cover your ears on those cold days, and so it is quite a handy thing to have along. In terms of accessories, most people bring a nice wildlife lens along with their camera. There's a lot of good wildlife photography opportunities in the polar regions. With your binoculars, it might be a good idea to get a harness instead of a neck strap, because you'll be wearing them for a long time on the outer decks and potentially on some long walks and hikes. So it's much more comfortable using a harness. And if you can get hold of a pair of polarized sunglasses, you'll be amazed how much more of the wildlife you can spot that's just beneath the surface that you wouldn't be able to spot with ordinary sunglasses. And you don't have to spend so much money. There are some inexpensive pairs of polarized sunglasses out there. Of course, don't forget all of your chargers, your spare SD cards, your memory cards, your batteries, etc. These are the kind of thing that you might not be able to get when you're on board, because most people's chargers are quite specialized. And your own personal medical kit. You might have all your own usual day-to-day medications, as well as maybe motion sickness medication. You'll want hand sanitizer, of course, for travel, and a nice eco-friendly sunblock. You can get quite a lot of snow glare in the polar regions, and don't forget, it's extremely dry. So you really want to take care of your lips and your skin from the dry conditions in the polar regions. You want to take all your shore gear with you in a waterproof backpack type of bag. You can get some really thick vinyl type ones that will give your gear extra protection, or you get really thin, lightweight type of waterproof bags. It's very handy if it's got a backpack function, so that you can be hands-free. And what you want to avoid is those padded mesh sections on your backpack. Reason being, these really pick up seeds ashore, and we don't want to transfer seeds or any biological material between landings in the polar regions. So I hope that was helpful. We look forward to seeing you down there in the polar regions. And this packing tips was brought to you by Noury Caledonia field staff and expedition teams.